Border apprehensions reached 2 million in Joe Biden's first year in office. And he has said that unequivocally, he is going to allow Title 42 to expire.
Okay.
And we have some real interesting on-the-ground intel based on that. But we know flat out right here that an end of Title 42 will open the floodgates to illegal immigration. This is from borderreport.com. This comes from Border Patrol Council chiefs. Like, this is messed up.
I mean, listen, it's going to get to the point where you're going to have to put up triple concertina barbed wire and probably some minefields and then cover and cover all of the dead space with machine guns. I mean, this is getting insane. And I hate to get all medieval on these people, but it's a fucking invasion.
Yeah.
That is a fucking invasion.
Yes.
Fuck them. Now, we're going to show you some slides here, and these are slides right from the talk that is being used. I believe Texas has some of their National Guard backing up the border. So.
Yep. All of the triangles note migrant smuggling. The circles are drug seizures. Square stands for other. The little things that kind of look like this here, it's like a rectangle with a bell in it. Those are migrant camps. And then there's if they're smaller than this, they're migrant camps of under 500. If it's just the little like bell graphic.
Yep.
And we got a few of these here. So, yep. There's another one just a little bit further back. It says right here, as of 12th of May, 2022, the Del Rio sector continues to lead reportings with more IA referrals than any other sector across the JOA. The RGV sector is reporting more drug and currency seizures. It is likely that migrant apprehensions are higher in the Del Rio sector due to less law enforcement in the surrounding areas. Shocker.
But
it is likely that there are more drug seizures in the RGV sector due to the heavier presences of law enforcement personnel in the heavily populated areas.
I just want to know when the actual Texas militias are going to get in on this action, because they're needed here. They're needed here.
Yes, they are. Absolutely.
I mean, that looks. Well, let's look at the numbers. What have they turned away under Title 42? Have you looked at some of those numbers that they've kicked back?
I have no idea.
No.
It's like I want to say it's like 1.8 million were kicked back under Title 42 in a period of time.
Yeah. And now we've got over 100,000 just sitting at the border waiting for it to lapse.
So you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to know how to work a slide rule, and you sure as hell don't have to be a ranger to figure out if you turn that many away when you had a law to push them back.
Yep.
When that's lifted,
it's going to go off.
You're going to have like a factor of 3 that are going to come in, because the ones that have gone back are going to say, hey, open territory, it's free reign now, because they've pulled that shit.
Yep.
And everybody's just going to keep coming.
So this is one of those conspiracy theories that's going to take less than a month to be proven true, I have a feeling.
That's absolutely correct. You know, and I never even anticipated being a conspiracy theorist.
Well,
all I'm doing is...
Right now, a conspiracy theorist is just someone who is willing to speak out loud what the government doesn't want people to know yet.
That's me.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much it.
And we better say it now while we can, because the Ministry of Truth is going to come slap our wrist here in a few bits.
Yeah, you're probably right.
The people who are responsible for peddling the Steele dossier and, Russian hookers pissing on Obama's bed in Russia or on Donald Trump, I don't even remember exactly how it was. Those people who peddled what they knew to be bullshit in order to spy on a sitting president are the ones who are going to be in charge of this bullshit.
Of telling you what's true and not. Yeah.
Yep. Gee, I can't imagine what could go wrong there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the Hunter laptop, that was Russia disinformation.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I know for a
they
fact.
promised me. They wouldn't lie to me again.
More cock.
Do you want me to read some of this intel? This comes straight from the border right here. We are not going to read his name, but he goes by Evil Zombie Toe in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, additionally, not included in these slides, 30 minors, 6 of whom were unaccompanied and suspected smuggled in one day. Enough fentanyl to kill 5 to 10% of the population of Texas in one bust. The estimate in the top left for Juarez, latest intel says it's double. We're looking at 100,000 migrants staged along the Texas border alone as of now. All human intel suggests that on the 23rd there will be a mass stampede towards entry points. Further intel suggests they don't care what the courts decide. We have C-wire set up to create choke points, but the cartels have enough money invested to maintain consistent fire in those areas. Aliens want to be captured right now because they know that we will bust them inland. Oh no, they've never done that, right? Oh shit.
Actually, listen, the governor of Texas has the power to stop all this.
Oh, he remember what he started sending
I know,
the buses
but
in?
the thing is,
It's hilarious.
He could literally just say, okay, the border to between Mexico and Texas is closed.
Greg Abbott, if you're out there or if you are a Texas constituent, take a clip from this stream. You have our permission and send it to his office.
Yeah.
A physical
Just shut the fucking border down. Call up your National Guard and call up the militia units. Put them on the border.
Yep.
All right. And then if you start taking fire from cartel, you return fire. Fuck them.
Absolutely.
How many bodies would you have to put out there to stack and to effectively man that that patch of land? Because
it's a lot.
You don't have, I mean, granted, you're going to have natural borders there and things that are going to prevent people from coming through, and I guarantee the people on the other side know the places to come.
I know.
But I mean, how many grunts, and I mean, best case scenario, Mark 19s and Ma Deuce is sitting out there.
That's right.
Every swinging dick with a 240. You're still going to have a target rich environment coming at you, and those guys are going to be in a bad way.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry I have to get all medieval, but this is my country. It goes God, country, family. Illegal aliens are not anywhere on that fucking hierarchy, so fuck them.
Oh, I agree 132%, because far too often mixed inside there, it's not just the people looking for a better life. I'm worried about
the douche nozzles,
terrorists, the human traffickers,
smugglers,
the drug smugglers, all the guys who are walking through with impunity. I want them smoked. I want each Joe that bags one, he gets a case of beer on me. I mean, all that shit to happen. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't want our guys getting overrun because they're in a shit show that shouldn't be at this level. It should have been an easier fix.
And
absolutely correct.
All these leftoids think that allowing these people into the country, one, isn't going to affect their way of life, which is patently false.
Yeah, those guys are so
it is going to bleed the system dry.
Yep.
And two, they think it's the humanitarian thing to do. No, it's not. You know what the humanitarian thing is to do? Send these fuckers home. Why? Because Mexico is long overdue for a revolution, because a country that rich in resources should not be that fucking poor. Yeah. It has to do with corruption at the higher levels, just like this country. They need a revolution, and you can't have a revolution without the lower classes. So if you keep allowing them to come here and giving them a free lunch and taking health care away from veterans in order to give it to these stupid motherfuckers, that is never going to happen. The corruption is going to continue, and the drug cartels will continue to own a country that could potentially be our greatest natural resource ally.
I can't argue
with you. As long as they come across the border and vote Democrat, we're never going to see that stop.
Well, but the thing is, you are correct when you say that.
That's true.
But when that happens, the people will realize that the voting is broken. It no longer applies. And then you're right back to the two-way rifle range solution. I mean, that's where this is going. I'm really, I don't want it to happen, but I don't see us pulling out of it. And I'm telling you right now, the rumor mill is the Democrats are planning some more election shenanigans in November.
Yeah, I would say that's a very fair bet, because right now we're seeing another outbreak. It just happens to be into communist party countries, as on the tail end of spring, approaching summer, for a seasonal illness that we all know dies down during that time.
Yeah.
And they don't provide their health numbers. They don't provide actual case totals.
Nope.
But they'll abuse the shit out of their population at the behest of their globalist butt buddies. So why not?
Yeah, why not?
And then
Well,
we're
did
going
you
to have
see
that meeting with
what-
the WHO, where we're apparently going to vote away national sovereignty, like as far as lockdowns go, to the World Health Organization.
Oh yeah, that's going to go over well.
Yeah.
Did you see Washington or Oregon was already starting to put out heads up that, hey, we're starting to see an uptick in cases, and here's the new guidelines.
They're not
for
seeing
locking
shit.
down again.
It's all
No,
arranged
but it's
because the
already
midterms
prepped.
are coming and the Democrats know that they're fucked.
Yeah,
They need that Hail Mary. They want their mail-in ballots back.
But they're listen,
nuts.
they're gonna be playing games at the polls. That's why. Listen, if you're listening to this show, send it out to all of the militia units across the country. Those people, it's time to show up and be political.
Yeah.
Be present at these polling stations, and when they close, don't leave.
Yeah.
You fucking wait there till the sun fucking comes up the next day.
Exactly.
How many times have we all missed a night's sleep? I do it all the time.
I did. I'm still here, aren't I?
First time.
First time?
The first time? No.
Show some more of those slides.
Well, that's all of them. That was all three of them.
That was all three of them?
But there is some more intel here, and some of it kind of throws back to what Keith was asking about in terms of bodies on the ground, because they're about to lose a lot of them, as you'll find out here. So we're looking at 100,000 migrants staged along the Texas border. Human intel suggested on the 23rd there's going to be a mass stampede. They've got the C-wire set up. The aliens want to be captured. They're anticipating thousands of invaders surrendering at the border next week, knowing they'll be granted asylum and accommodations. We're set to lose 910 soldiers on the border due to poke mandates next month, and they're already at 90%.
Well, the thing is, the governor can easily say, fuck the vax mandate, and you just stay on the job. We're not doing that. That is well within his power.
He needs to do it then.
That is his fighting force, and he can easily say, fuck the mandates. You're in the National Guard. And if the Pentagon won't federalize you to, go off to fight overseas somewhere, so fucking what?
Yeah.
They're just they're treating their soldiers like guinea pigs anyway.
Yep.
So
and yeah,
I
and
was
if
gonna
Abbott doesn't
ask
do it,
about that. I mean, I know on a federal level you can do a stop loss when you're overseas doing some of that shit. How does that work in the National Guard if they need to keep you longer? I mean, can they do the same thing? Sign off Circle X and say, hey, you're staying?
yes, he can to a certain extent. Yes.
yeah. Evil Zombie Toe is in the chat. He says Abbott doesn't care. Just saying. Well, if he doesn't
then
care,
guess what?
make him fucking care.
Yeah.
He wants to keep his power.
It's right.
You
need
take it away from him,
Yeah.
he'll listen.
Primary his fucking ass out. Get another guy in charge that will take action.
And by then,
This is fucking Texas, for God's sake.
By then, unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of damage done.
Yeah.
Because right now, his competition is Beto O'Fucking Rourke. So
Jesus wept.
he's basically as good as reelected.
Yeah. Well.
So with that kind of confidence boost heading into the election, he might just sit there and do jack and shit. And Jack left town after he banged his mom.
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunate, but
Yep.
that needs to be fixed.
Oh, there's more here.
Okay.
Self-deletions are escalating, and the suggested solution is to take a long lunch break. We're no longer allowed to rescue drowning invaders because one soldier drowned trying to save one.
Don't
do
fucking do that.
Our ammo is limited, and close to 70% are currently deployed on expired rifle quals.
All right. Well, first of all, hang on. Rifle quals expired. Listen, if you've been in the military more than 5 years and you're not up to speed on your rifle qual, I'm pretty sure you still know how to use it.
Yeah.
Okay. Granted, if the weapon isn't zeroed to you, that's a problem. But if it's your assigned weapon and you've qualified with it in the past, chances are nobody got in there and fucked with your sights. You should be fine.
You want to hear this pathetic bit of nonsense? Evil Zombie Toe followed it up. Mm-hmm. Once Title 42 disappears, this is the plan, apparently. This is the strategery. Scout the border for areas where migrants are crossing illegally and roll up with a bus. We aren't allowed to coerce them, but the doors will be open. Once the buses are full, we drive them to Border Patrol points of entry and house them until they're processed. We don't have the housing for that many people, and none of our preparations are to repel this level of mass invasion, only accommodate it.
Listen, the governor of Texas is going to have to tell his people, turn them back.
And
Turn him back by force if need be.
And if he doesn't, he's a fucking traitor and he needs to be removed from office.
That's absolutely correct. This is serious business.
Yeah. Serious business. Wow, man, we're just tossing out black pills left and right today. It just got dark in here.
Well, I mean, listen.
And I'm going to interrupt you real quick. I saw somebody in the chat mention make the National Guard Texas Rangers and stuff like that. I get the enthusiasm. I get where you're coming from. As far as I know, posse comitatus prevents us from being law enforcement personnel unless the time of martial law. And since Joe ain't going to do anything like that, I don't know if the government has, or if the governor has that kind of power to suspend posse comitatus and make us law enforcement. But most of the chuckleheads and the cammy jammies are not guys that you're going to want practicing law enforcement.
Hang on. Your governor probably doesn't have the authority to do that, but the sheriff can deputize all those individuals. They just got to hold up the right hand and take the oath.
Absolutely.
Turn them all into deputies.
At the end of the day, you cannot count on the government to solve the problem that it deliberately created to further its agenda. It's up to people like you and me.
It's exactly the way it is.
I take that back, Pop. You are a genius.
I have a black belt in administrative violence. Why doesn't anyone ever fucking believe me?
I mean, we just saw you in the gi.
I know.
I'm sorry, it sounds like gay, but it's gi.
But I'm serious. Like the counties along that border can literally take all of the National Guard guys. Everybody hold up your right hand. Swear them all in. Give them a piece of paper. So if they have to go to court, he's a fucking deputy. He was deputized. Yes. There you go.
You need to go Wild West down there. And there's a reason why people in the Wild West were way more polite. Because if you fucked around, you found out. And you found out in a hurry.
If I lived in Texas, I would go to the county sheriff and say, hey, if you need to deputize me, here's my name. Just let me know.
Yeah.
Well, why did Yamamoto never come across, or why did the Japanese, why did they never invade the homeland? Not only did they
there's
not
a gun behind every blade of grass.
Yeah. Well, logistically, there's no way they could do it.
No.
Moral of the story is the idea was not just they couldn't logistically do it, never mind the fuel oil and all the other shortage they had. But their military leaders understood that if they came across the pond and they hit our shores, there was going to be a schmuck behind every blade of grass with a rifle waiting to repel them. So
yeah. And you know what state has the most guns? Texas.
I'm going to guess.
And I think half of them are at my father-in-law's house. I love that dude.
What was the guy that had like a tank in his basement or some shit like that? That's the kind of people
I don't know, man. We need Killdozer back.
Yeah.
Send the Killdozer down there to handle this shit in a heartbeat.
We need about 2,000 highly motivated E4Ps left unattended for about 2 hours. And there will be some crazy shit that even Elon Musk or whatever his fucking name is would not be able to surpass.
Yeah.
Because if you give the E4 Mafia an opportunity to do something, to get out of work, to go take a nap, and to not be bothered, they're going to come up with some shit.
Yeah,
NASA level shit.
There's some cunning motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you'd like to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, consider making a donation on Locals, Patreon, or Subscribe Star.